Hello everyone, it's Beck here from Hello, my name is Beck, popping in today to do an envelope flip folder with you, and this is from Lizzy Hill. So we have 4 papers for 4 different envelopes. We have my envelope punch board, and we have 4 envelopes, 3x7, 4x6, 5x7 and 4x7. So I've looked at the measurements on each of them, and I'm just getting my guillotine out here so that I can cut down the size of paper that I need. So the first paper for the first envelope is 8 1/4, and so I'm just cutting that down. Now Lizzy has done a tutorial of this on her channel, and I have watched this prior to doing mine. I have chosen some different size envelopes so that all of my envelopes are actually the same width along, so that the actual flip folder, when you fold it out, is even all the way along. So that's why I'm doing a slightly different tutorial here. So cutting down the last paper there, which is 8 3/4 on my little pad, which is pretty hard for you to read, but if you do want to have a look, just make sure that you get that pad and pause the video in that frame so that you can see the measurements. But you can make this any size you want. You could actually do miniature envelopes and actually have a really seriously cute mail, which I think I probably will do in future, because obviously Australia Post has changed the ruling for us, so making flat mail is a good option. So just using my envelope punch board to make all of the envelopes here. Now this first envelope, which is a 3x7, is a nice thin one, so it means that the envelope itself comes up, like you can see the point actually moves on to the next flap. So I will make sure that that is straightened off at some point. And then so second envelope here, which is the 4x6, and I'm just scoring that where it tells me to on my envelope punch board. Now with this rainbow paper here, I did have a purple side, but unfortunately by cutting it down to 8 1/4, it did take off the purple, so a bit sad about that because that was the full rainbow. But I chose to go with the red, orange, yellow, and then we had the green and the blue. So I'm just looking there as to what direction I want it. So I choose to actually have the blue at the top when it's folded, because the diagonal of the pattern doesn't look very good once it's in an envelope. So this one here is actually another, it's a white paper with a rainbow diagonal to it, so once again keeping with that rainbow theme. And then my last paper is a cloud paper. Now the 3 papers above, excluding the one that I'm folding, are from Rosie's Studio, and the one that I'm folding is a Bloom Street one, so that's actually quite a nice cardstock base, whereas the other ones are just paper. So I chose that the cardstock base one would be the back envelope, so it would give the mail a bit of stability. So making sure to use my clouds in the direction that I want them, so that will be that way up. So I have my 4 envelopes here. I'm just going to round the corners of the points that I need them rounded. I don't need to round everything, because when you stick down an envelope you don't actually see the little tiny flap corners. Sounding so random this morning. And so just rounding that one as well. And then I realised that this one here I don't need to round, so this is the one that I'm going to just slice. So I'm just getting my pencil, my ruler, making sure to be right on the point, and then just drawing a line. Now this takes me 3 attempts to get right, so I chop the envelope first, and then I realise that one, I can still see the line, so bring it back in, get rid of the line, and then I still don't like it because it still doesn't marry up with the edge of the other diagonal, so slicing just a little bit more off, and then I think I finally get it right. So Now that all these envelopes have the inside as a white because it's a single-sided paper, I do want to actually have a bit more colour because it's supposed to be a rainbow mail and pretty. So I am getting my other spare pieces of paper, the ones, because obviously you've cut it down to 8¼ and I'm just taking those edges and popping them into the envelope. Now, I don't know whether it's because the paper is quite shiny from Rosie Studio, but my glue sticks seem to not even want to work today with these papers. So you can see it just keeps peeling up around the edges and I get rather frustrated with it in the end. So you'll see the next lot of envelopes after, I think I tried 2 with the glue stick. So the next lot I actually attempt with double-sided tape. So I'll just stick this envelope together so that you can see this envelope flip folder come together. So this is going to be the second envelope. So this is envelope number 2. I am popping in the actual double-sided tape to actually seal it together, and then I use the purple, I think the purple leftover, to actually include the purple in the rainbow of this envelope. So I think I play around and look at a different paper and I go, oh no, I'm going to bring back that purple. So just measuring that with my thumbnail. Does anyone else do that? Just be like, yeah, that's a proper measurement. So I think I come back in with my glue stick and try again with this one and see whether I can, if I just use a spare piece of paper, whether that will help it stick. But it really didn't want to stick. I think it's because Rosie Studio has a shiny paper. Now I have actually purposefully stuck this one over the edge of the envelope and I'm folding the actual sticked part here now because that one will be actually on show, so I wanted it to look like it was part of the inside of the envelope. So I'm just measuring those 2 up there and then coming in with the third envelope, which is going to be the base of our flip book folder, like our envelope flip folder. So I'm just going to seal this one up here. Now in Lizzy's video, she does actually have her envelope facing the other way. So it opens the other way. But I think I made a mistake by gluing or putting in the inside paper of the rainbows in that direction. So it should have gone the other way around. And so the envelope should have opened the other way. But it still worked really, really well in the outcome of the mail, and I think you'll see that it didn't really make much of a difference. So this is where I decide that double-sided tape is going to be my best friend here. So I give up with the glue stick. So just snipping the double-sided tape to the length, and then I do a diagonal. And yeah, it's quite interesting watching me trying to slot this into the actual envelope. So I'm just taking that whole strip back so that I can put the other strip in, if you see my meaning. So sliding that into the envelope, and then you see I'm like, okay, let's try and pull all these strips out. So I'm holding, and I'm like, ah! Trying to yeah. So I still continue with the double-sided tape because it does actually look a lot better. So here I go again, trying to stick that down with my glue stick, and it really was not working. But I gave up in the end, and I knew that that was just about to get stuck underneath another envelope. So fourth and final envelope here is my clouds. Love this paper, and the first envelope paper that you see, the rainbow. So those are my two original choices for this mail, and then the other 2 rainbow pieces came in nicely. So that is my clouds just there. So I've got the clouds in the direction I want them. So you can see that the envelopes are in the directions that I need them. So we're going to start putting it together. So this second envelope, which is a bit smaller, sits on the flap of the first envelope. So we're going to get my glue stick and come in and stick that to the flap. Now you want a bit of a gap, so I'm leaving a bit of a gap just there so that the rainbow can fold on top of the multiple rainbows can fold on top of the colourful paper. Then the next one is gluing these two envelopes to the back of the main envelope, that big envelope in the candy stripe, I guess the rainbow candy stripe you could call it. So sticking that down and leaving a gap again so that both of those envelopes can actually fold onto the candy stripe. So turning it over and giving it a press. So here we go, we've got the first three together, and then the last one is coming in on that back again. So getting my glue stick, just trying to find a pad of spare paper so that I can pop it underneath and glue on top, because all of my other scrap pieces of paper already had glue on and I didn't want to get glue on the other side of the envelope. So sorry I'm out of view on this one, but I am sticking it to the back of that candy stripe rainbow. So that is the base of the flip folder, the envelope flip folder. And like I said, in Lizzy's one, the center envelope had the flap on the other side. So not on the right hand side, but on the left hand side. But I don't think it eventually ruined the mail. I think it was fine. Now, so I tested out some scraps for inside the clouds, but I was like, no, I really want rainbows in there. And because the rainbows that I had were only the opposite direction, I just decided, okay, I have to go back to my paper pack and get the last sheet of rainbows. There's only 2 sheets per pack. So I thought, well, I'm only having just a tiny slither to put inside this envelope, so it would still allow quite a lot of paper left as a scrap. So I was quite happy with that. So just coming in, and I think I go with the double-sided tape again, yep, rather than trying to use that glue stick because it really wasn't working. So this time I just do 3 little strips, and yeah, it's not as bad as it was last time. So I do 1 diagonal all the way and then only the other side partially, because it really didn't need to be stuck all the way down in the actual envelope. So I make sure to line it up so that it looks like it's come all the way to the edge of the envelope, and then slide it all out. So that seemed a lot better than the last time. But I think we perfect things as we go along. So ta-da! Now looking at the back, in Lizzy's, she was showing the one that she'd received. She was showing had a panel on the back to hold the ribbon in place. I just had a couple of marks there on my clouds, so I just used my normal eraser to erase them. So yeah, I don't think it was pencil or anything, I just think it was just a couple of glue dots or something. So going back to the Rosie Studio paper pack, using my thumb again here, my thumbnail, to professionally mark where I needed. And so coming in and just chopping that down to the size that I need on the back. So yes, the one that Lizzy got given had this panel on the back to hide the ribbon closure. So that's what I decided to do, because even though I do like the back with the envelope flaps coming over each other, I really like the idea of hiding the ribbon underneath. So I chose my pink ribbon, and you can see there my tub of ribbons that I brought in. So I'm just measuring out 3 times the width of the file folder, the flip folder. Don't know what I'm calling this thing. I will decide when I make a YouTube thumbnail. And so I'm just lining that up on my mat, counting down to make sure that I can work out where I need to go in the middle with my double-sided tape. Now I do stick that piece down there, but then I realised that I really don't know when, like, because I've just used my thumbnail to measure out my hot air balloons, so I really don't know whereabouts it was going to go down to, so that's why I decided to then come back with my double-sided tape actually on the hot air balloons, because you can see I'm actually quite far up with that bottom strip there. So yeah, I decided that my hot air balloons needs to actually be stuck down all the way around, so I made sure to do the double-sided tape right to the edge of my hot air balloon paper, whereas I think if I'd gone with sticking the double-sided tape on the actual flip book, it would have had edges sticking up all over. So lining that up with my little trick of my double-sided tape, pulling that out, holding it down, and voila, beautiful. Very happy with that. I went with hot air balloons, obviously, because you've got your sky theme with rainbows and clouds. So grabbing my scissors and making a fishtail with my ribbon, so folding it in half and then snipping, and there we go. I do end up snipping more of the ribbon, because the next time I come to do the bow it doesn't look like that. I then have to snip some more because it looks uneven. So that is the base of the flip. Now in a second, due to the power of editing, I then show you what I put inside this mail. Now I am a rainbow girl, so I really enjoyed making this mail, and I went probably to a little extra effort, and I made some die cut envelopes with rainbow hearts, so you'll see those in a minute. So come on, editing. Oh, I'm showing you here, this is the list of happy mailers, and showing you the things that they've requested as part of a challenge. And so Chloe actually requested a rainbow mail, so very excited to make this for her, because like I said, I'm a rainbow girl. So opening up the ribbon, ta-da, we have some heart enamels in some pretty pinks and sort of rainbow colours. We've got some rainbow washi, so I've stuck them down with just some glue dots to hold them in place for the post. Got sticker there from Kiki K, and perfect rainbow sticker. And then we have that envelope there with the rainbow. I stamped on it, so that was quite a mission. I actually had to use my Misty to stamp on that and try and avoid getting stamp ink on any of the other envelopes. Turning it over, I've got one of these beautiful girls from Illustrated Faith, and it says never stop dreaming. Now I actually chose that girl as well because it kind of looked like Chloe's photo. So I've got that rainbow there, sticker on the actual candy stripe paper, and these are the envelopes I was talking about. So I made these little envelopes, and I had these heart die cuts, and I cut them out in all different colours so that I could make little rainbow hearts popping out. Then I've stuck it on a laminated card with sequins. So happy with how those turned out, and sort of gone that little extra effort to make a goodie for a change, which I never ever do. I always just gift goodies that are pre-done, like doilies. So here we go, we've got some doilies in here, different colours. We've got white, pink, turquoise, and this vibrant green at the back. So loved how bright they were and how they matched the mail. So sliding that in, sticking the Velcro back down. On the right hand side we have this one. I've stamped a little hello bubble, and then I have my letter here for Chloe, and I've put in a couple of, this one here is just a Project Life card, and then this one's a postcard from the Kiki K book that I have. So I think that is it for today's video. It is a bit of a longer one, but that's because I was showing you how I made this mail. So popping that back in there. Now, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I'd love to try and get to 1,000 subscribers for live streams using my mobile and not StreamYard. So I will do up this ribbon, or attempt to do up this ribbon. Leave me a comment below as to what your favourite goodies are to send and what you liked in this mail itself. Thank you so much for being here, everyone, and I hope you are all staying safe and taking care. So just finishing off this ribbon, stretching that out, and I will turn it round and say goodbye. So thank you everyone for watching. Take care everyone. Bye.